So welcome guys. For those that have never taken a class with me before, my name is Liv. This class is going to be a twisty themed class, but it's also a little bit of a, I think the word mobility can sometimes be used slightly out of context. But what I mean is we're going to try and sort of use our strength within the ranges that we're working in. So you can expect this class to feel quite challenging in terms of physically demanding, but obviously everybody is very different. Everyone is in a very different position in their practice, and therefore I really encourage you to make it your own. I will give as many options as I can so that you can think of something that works best for you, but please don't feel like every option that I give is an option that you have to take. We'll be working our way towards, so with all these twisted that we're doing, we're warming up through the core and the side body, getting twisting into the hips as well. Be working on side crow. Now maybe that's that you're learning your side crow. For those that already have side crow within their pocket, some harder variations that perhaps you might want to try out. But as I say again, whatever suits you best today. No pressure to do anything that doesn't feel good. Having a block will probably be helpful. Just for a couple of postures that essentially bring the floor a little bit closer to you or make your arm feel that little bit longer, essentially the same thing. But if you don't have one, whenever we use one, I'll try to remember to say at the time, but generally bending your knee to allow yourself to basically not have a straight leg is sometimes a good middle ground if you don't have a block to use. So we're going to start into a comfortable cross-legged seat, and if you want to sit onto a block or a cushion to help you be comfortable in that shape, then go ahead. It doesn't matter which way around you want to place the legs. Once you've found a seat, try not to question it, try not to doubt it, just allow yourself to settle. Maybe just take one final roll back of the shoulders, allowing the chest to feel nice and broad. And then letting the arms settle into your lap, letting your eyes close. And just give yourself this moment to feel like you've arrived, to feel ready, and to allow yourself to settle. As you find that physical stillness with your body, just allow your focus to draw inward. Focusing on just the natural movement of your breath here, not trying to change it, not trying to make it something it's not, but just feeling that softness as it moves in and out of your body. And then keeping this feeling of calm, this feeling of softness, allow that breath to grow. Allow that inhale to move a little bit deeper, expanding into the chest. Each exhale to be controlled and slow on the way out, trying not to rush one breath over the other. Gradually find yourself working up to a nice full expanse of your rib cage. Feel that space that you take up. And each exhale is encouraging that sense of calm, that sense of softness. And then just taking a moment to use those two feelings, those two ideas as something of a benchmark. Remind yourself that that feeling of creating space, that feeling of lightness and energy, that feeling of softness and calm, they're the two ideas that we want to carry with us as we move the body and as things become that little bit more challenging. With your next breath in, take a nice wide circle of the arms as you reach the fingertips to the sky, gaze up towards them. And as you exhale, let those hands come onto the floor in front of you. Doesn't matter how far forwards it is, just thinking of your weight tipping slightly forwards towards your shins. The sit bones to stay rooted against the mat, so try to prevent your bum coming up and away from the floor. Head can hang nice and heavy between the upper arms, softness in the back of the neck. Let that breath keep moving just as it was, all the way in, all the way out. Good. Take one more breath in with your hands here in front of you. And on the exhale, let your hands walk off to the right side. moving your chest to face off in that direction as well, and maybe just right hand stays pitched onto fingertips. With a big breath in, let your left arm circle to the sky as you gaze up towards it, opening the chest. And as you exhale, let that left hand come down to meet the right, maybe reaching just that little bit further than the fingertips. Good, same again. Inhale, opening wide, gaze with the hand, turn the chest open. Exhale, closing off, reach that little bit further than fingertips. Good, one more just like that. Inhale, opening the chest, root left sit bone. And exhale to lower towards that right hand. Wonderful. From there, walk yourself all the way over to the second side. Hands go off towards left, chest is moving off towards left knee. 3 on this side. Inhale, right arm rises, gaze goes with fingertips. Exhale as you come down, can you reach that little bit further? Inhale, reach it up, steady with the breath. Exhale, closing it off. Wonderful. And then one more time, breathing in, open, tall. And as you exhale, draw the hand back to the floor. Good. As you walk yourself back onto your mat and lift your torso tall, get your chest stacked back on top of your hips. Just switch the cross of the legs so the left, or I guess it depends where you started, switch the cross of the legs so that the other hip gets a little love. With a nice full breath in, circle your arms to the sky, lift the rib cage away from the hips. As you exhale, let your left arm reach forwards as your right arm reaches back. Reach out through those fingertips and let your chest face the right side. Good. We're staying as tall as we can through the torso, switching on through our core muscles. Hold it there, inhale. And then on the exhale, right hand stays where it is, left hand holds the right knee. As you gently draw against it, can you find any more rotation? That right arm is still reaching towards the back of your mat. Good, lovely. Hold that twist, full breath in. Now that hand behind you is going to go towards the back-ish corner of your mat. Let it rest somewhere comfortably. Maybe you want to choose to drop the elbow down as well to go a little further, and then left arm goes up and alongside the ear as you drive the thighs away from you. So left side body, left rib cage is the bit that feels really long. Yes, lovely. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Lovely. Strong through your belly to pull your way all the way back up. Circle that left hand behind you. Fingertips pitched onto the mat behind. And as you inhale, puff the chest to the sky. Squeeze shoulder blades together and really puff your chest out in front of you. Lovely. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, release, come back to neutral. Second side. Inhale, arms go tall to the sky, lifting up. Right arm goes forwards, left arm reaches back, not holding on to anything to begin with. Use the strength to find that rotation. Harder than it sounds. Good. Breathing in, chest is rising. Breathing out. Take one more as you are here. Left hand stays where it is. Right hand holds the outer knee. Give yourself a little assistance into that twist. Can the help of holding the knee give you a little bit more rotation to be found? Lovely. One full breath in here. And then that hand behind you is going to place down towards the mat. Let me just try and sort out whatever that is. Dropping the elbow down when you get there. And letting that right arm reach up and over alongside your right ear. If anyone knows that they're not muted. Hopefully that sorted it, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. We've got right arm up and over. You've been here a little longer than me. Take one more breath in. And then draw your body all the way up. That right hand is going to come behind you, pitching onto fingertips just behind. Use the inhale, puff the chest out, squeeze shoulder blades together, open through front body. This time, option to stay here if this feels nice, or press down into those fingertips. Can you lift your bum? Can you roll over your ankles for the knees to go towards the floor? If that feels awful in your ankles and it's not accessible, stay on the floor. It's all about front body opening. As you exhale, release your bum down if you lifted it up. Maybe curl your heels a little closer to your bum so you can roll yourself over, finding a tabletop position. Shuffle back if you've run out of room. Find a nice square base, so shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and we'll move through our cat and cow. Use an inhale to lift through the chest, stretching belly, engaging lower back. On the exhale, rounding through the spine, chin to the chest, tailbone tucks, engage through your abdominals. Good. Moving with your own breath. Inhale, chest lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, rounding, push the floor away from you. Long, strong arms. Yes, guys, lovely. Few more just like that. Full, long breath in. Soft, full breath out. A last one like that. Breathing in and breathing out. Lovely. As you draw your spine back towards neutral, I want you to leave your right hand down onto the floor. Inhale, left arm rises to the sky as the gaze goes with it. And then as you exhale, reach underneath your right armpit, but don't touch the mat. Reach as far away as you can, but your left shoulder doesn't touch down. Inhale, curl that arm back to the sky, gaze up with it, push into right arm. Exhale to thread through, don't touch the mat, but reach as far as you can, you're just hovering. Good. Last one, inhale, turning it open. This time as you exhale, thread it through, coming down onto the side of the left shoulder, let the side of the head come down as well. Once you've found a point that feels comfortable, feels balanced, your right hand can walk its way out to the top of the mat. You could leave it in front of your face as an option one, or you could walk it forwards, maybe pitch onto fingertips. Good. You could stay here, or your right leg, tuck the toes under, press the heel back so the leg is straight. You could leave the foot down. There's another option for you. Maybe you want to try floating that right leg away from the floor. Now, the key to staying balanced is to think of your pelvis staying facing the mat. Try not to let that right hip roll open. Little press down through that outer side of left shoulder. Good. Now with that leg that's out behind us, if you've not lifted it yet, I want you to see if you can find a little lift. Can you sweep that leg out towards the right hand side? Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, depending on how hard you want to make it. And then can you sweep it all the way back where it came from? Keep that pelvis facing down. Yes, good. Two more like that. Little sweep out to the side. We've got some dominoes, guys. Falling is allowed. Can you sweep it back where it came from? One last time as you sweep that leg wide, I want you to place the foot down on the right side on the floor. Use your right hand in front of your face to push yourself up and out of it, and then rise up to kneel. So we're on our left knee and the right foot is out beside us. Turn those right toes to the sky so your toes and knees are facing upwards, and we've got our body weight on top of our left knee. Lovely. You may choose to want to use a block, but I want you to take your arms out wide like you would do a warrior two. You're going to reach out towards those right toes, so off the right side of your mat. And as you exhale, that right hand either comes to a block on the inside of the leg, you could take your hand to the shin, or if you've got super long arms, your hand is welcome to go to the floor. Good. Feel that length in left side body. Breathing steady. Nice, guys, lovely. Full breath in. Full breath out. With a nice strong inhale, pull your body all the way back up, and then think of your bum going down towards your left heel. The right leg stays extended out beside you, and then fold in between the two. So your torso is going diagonally off between the two. Hands can come slightly in front. If you've got a little bit more range to work with, you could walk your hands further forwards. Either way, the right heel presses away as the toes flex back towards you. Press a little bit down through the back of that thigh to feel that right hamstring lengthen. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, lovely. One more breath here. On the exhale, walk yourself all the way back in. I want you to slightly lift your hips, kick your left foot out from underneath you so you can sit down behind it. So you've got this bent left leg, sole of foot towards inner thigh. Now just having a little bit of strength, or maybe a lot of strength into our left bum, can you reach your arms forwards, lift yourself all the way up and away from the floor? And then slow and controlled, try not to bounce onto your bum. Can you go all the way back down to the mat? We're doing two more like that. Think of pressing into that left shin. Can you lift your hips up? Can you softly release down? Nice, guys, lovely. Last one. Come all the way up, nice and tall. And all the way back down. Lovely. Right hand is going to hold on to your left knee, which is bent. Sole of foot is towards inner thigh. As you twist, take the left hand behind you. Perhaps you would like to experiment with that left hand taking a little half bind as it reaches towards your right thigh. Wonderful. If your right thigh feels a million miles away, no problem, leave the left hand to the floor behind you. Take a full deep breath in and a soft breath out. As you undo that twist, cross your right shin in front, so you've got little cross legs in front of you. Can you then roll over your ankles, otherwise spin your legs round as you return your way to tabletop. Taking just one cat and cow to reset. Inhale, lift through the chest, think of squeezing lower back muscles. Exhale as you round, hollowing out the front body. Good. Come back towards that neutral spine. Think of a little bit of engagement through your core. Left hand is staying to the mat. Inhale, right arm rises to the sky, twisting and reaching. As you exhale, thread underneath left armpit. Don't touch the mat, but reach as far as you can. Good. Inhale, reach it back to the sky. Get big. Exhale, threading through, reaching off towards the left side. Don't touch the mat just yet. Lovely. Last one, big breath in. This time as you exhale, threading under, take your time to let the side of the shoulder, side of the head come to the mat. Find a comfortable position before you start thinking of changing things. Left hand could choose to walk its way off towards the top of the mat, maybe choosing to pitch that hand onto fingertips. Good, lovely. From there, left leg. Option 1, leave it. Option 2, tuck the toes, press the heel away from you, straighten the leg. Option 3, can you float that leg away from the floor? Keep your hips facing down, reach out through toes, imagine those muscles are holding onto that thigh. Yes, good. Pelvis faces down for your balance. Now, if you're holding it there, you can hold it. Otherwise, see if you can find a little lift of that leg. We're going to take 3 sweeps of the leg towards that left-hand side. Your choice of how far you try to sweep it. Take it all the way back to point towards the back of the mat for 1. Again, sweeping it wide out towards left side. Sweep it back where it came from for 2. Good, trying not to fall. Last one. Sweep it all the way wide. And all the way back where it came from. Lovely. Tell a word of a lie. I want you to bring it all the way back round towards that left side. Place it down to the floor as you draw yourself up and onto your right kneeling knee. Just readjust if the foot's not where you want it. You want the ankle in roughly the same line as your knee. Squished in. A little tuck of tailbones, roll those left toes to the sky so that the knee, the thigh, the shin, everything is pointing upwards. I've run out of space. Take your arms wide like a warrior 2. You're then going to think of surfing out towards the left toes, long through the side body. That left hand can come to wherever it feels reachable from there. Try not to turn it into much of a fold. Yes, lovely. Little tuck of tailbone. Think of rolling that rib cage back. Good. Big breath in. Big breath out. Use one big inhale to pull your body all the way up, strong through your middle. Make sure your back toes are not tucked under so you can guide your bum down towards your right heel. You're then folding off in a diagonal direction between your thighs, allowing your hands to slightly rest in front. So it's kind of off towards about 10 o'clock is roughly the direction you're folding. But you should be feeling a left hamstring, left inner thigh stretch. Depending on your body, you might be feeling it into hips as well, allowing your body to come a little bit forwards. Good, nice. Deep breath in. Soft breath out. As you walk your hands back in, think of just lifting your bum slightly so you can kick that foot underneath. Sit your bum down so that the left leg is kicked off, sole of foot towards inner thigh. We'll take 3 of these little lifts to help our bum get nice and strong. Press into right shin. Can you lift up and away from the mat? Think of a little tuck of tailbone at the top. Slow and controlled on the way down. Let your bum softly find the floor. Good. 2 more like that. Pressing down, lifting up, engage through bum muscles. Exhale, softly coming down. Try not to thud. Yes, guys, lovely. Last one. Come all the way up. And softly release it back down. Good. Hug your left heel in, so simple cross legs in front of you. Roll over towards your tabletop. This time, tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Press the thighs back as you find your first down dog. And you're welcome to take any movements that you like to feel settled here. Maybe a pedal of legs. Maybe a nod or shake of head. Just allowing your body to settle into your first down dog. Once you've had a little wiggle, see if you can find some stillness, a nice firm push into the hands to press the floor away from you, keeping that breath nice and steady. Great, take one more full breath in. And then on the breath out, the hands are going to walk to the back of the mat to come to meet the feet into a bit of a ragdoll fold. So knees are slightly bent, body and thighs are nice and close towards each other. You can either dangle the arms, cross the arms, or if you want to hold back of ankles and give yourself a little bit of assistance into the fold, you could do so to let those hamstrings feel that little bit longer. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Good. Let your right hand come to the floor in front of you. Option to place it onto a block. With an inhale, left arm reaches to the sky as you twist open, bend right knee as much as you need to. Can you find a little bit more length in your left leg? Push the hand into the mat to help the body twist and turn. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. As you bring that hand back down to the mat, walk yourself forwards and into plank so your shoulders come on top of your wrists. Press your heels out behind you, find a little bit of a tucked tailbone. Right hand stays down as we come to a side plank. Left arm to the sky. Think of a squeeze of your inner thighs towards each other. Option to stack your feet to make life a little harder. I want you just to hold here for one full breath in. Now your top left knee, can you start pulling it in towards your side body? Can you tap the knee and elbow together in the sky and then guide that left foot to the top of the mat where your left hand was a moment ago? Give it the help it needs to get there if it didn't quite make it. Two hands are now on the inside of the foot for lizard lunge. Chest is driving forwards, back heel pressing back, engage through your right bum muscles. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Take one more full inhale. On the exhale, the back foot is going to step into the front of the mat as you sink your sit bones a little bit closer towards your heels for your malasana. Hands to come together. Elbows can drive those thighs a little wider. If it's a very challenging posture for you, option to bring a hand behind for a bit of balance. Drive your thighs wide to help your hips find this range. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let your hands come to the floor in front of you. Press your hips to the sky. Turn your toes to face forwards as you return into a forward fold. Use an inhale, fingertips to the shins, halfway lift. Long flat spine, shoulders out of the ears. As you exhale, refold. Let your hands touch the floor. Good. Use an inhale. Rise all the way up to stand. Arms go up alongside the ears. Grow nice and tall. And as you exhale, refold, take the hands to the mat, press the sit bones to the sky. With an inhale, long through the body, thighs press back, halfway lift. And then on the exhale, choices of vinyasa, you can take others if you know better, otherwise stepping feet back into plank. Hold a full breath in for your plank pose. On the exhale, option to drop those knees for a halfway lower, elbows in close towards rib cage. As you inhale, lift the chest to look forwards, press into the tops of the feet. Can you float the thighs for up dog? And then turning feet over or rolling over toes if you prefer. Hips up and back as you find downward facing dog. Lovely. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. One more like that. Good. Hands walk their way to the back of the mat. Come to find your feet. Again, either ragdoll fold or perhaps holding onto your heels. Imagine you're trying to lift your heels off of the mat as you press your sit bones to the sky. Big inhale. Soft exhale. Let your left hand come to the floor underneath your nose. Option for a block. Inhale, right arm turns to the sky as you twist open. Left knee bends as much as it needs to. Can you find a little more length in the right leg? Inhale, right into the belly. Exhale. Good. Let that hand come down to the mat as you walk yourself forwards into your plank pose. Let those shoulders come over wrists. Think of lifting the belly away from the mat. Left hand stays down as the right arm reaches to the sky, side plank. Option to stagger feet. You could drop a knee if you prefer. Make it your practice. Inhale, hold it. That top right leg, can you draw the knee in towards your rib cage? The arm in the sky, can your elbow and knee make contact? Good, push the floor away. And then guide that right foot to the top of the mat, just where the right hand kind of would have been. 2 hands on the inside of the foot as you find lizard. Think of engaging through left bum muscles to help that back leg find length. Chest is pulling forwards, press into the inner arch of your front foot. Big inhale. Soft exhale. Good, take one more. As you exhale, that back foot is going to come and step in, mirroring the front foot. Maybe just angle your toes a little more outwards to help you find a little bit of balance in your malasana. The knees are driving in the direction of your toes. Your elbows can help those thighs push a little wider. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, hands come down, hips go up, turn your toes forward so they're pointing to the top of the mat, and find your forward fold. Belly and thighs compressing close together. Breathing in and breathing out. With a nice strong inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Get nice and long, little lift of the ribs. And as you exhale, fold all the way back to the mat. The fingertips find the floor. Use your inhale, halfway lift, lengthening body forwards. Same options as you exhale, hands go down, feet step back. We're moving through a vinyasa. Inhale. On the exhale, option for those knees to come down. Elbows go nice and close to ribcage. Hold that belly in, push the floor away. Inhale, lift that chest, squeeze shoulder blades, broaden your chest. Yes, guys, lovely. Exhale, move your way back into down dog. Allow yourself a couple of breaths of stillness here. You can always take a child's pose at any point. If you feel that you've lost connection to your breath, if you feel that you're just like a little moment's rest, it's always there. Lovely. With your right leg, as you inhale, send it to the sky for 3-legged dog. Keep the leg as straight as you can. Engage your right bum muscles to help it lift to the sky. Hold it there for 1 more breath in. As you exhale, curl it forwards and underneath, placing it between the hands. Give it the help it needs to get there. If it doesn't quite make it by itself, drop your back knee to the floor. As you inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms alongside your ears. Just bring your hips slightly out of the full depth and come away from your front heel, tucking through tailbone, engaging through left glutes. Think of your side body getting nice and long, your arms coming narrow alongside your ears. Breathe in. On the breath out, left arm goes forwards, right arm goes back as we actively twist just like we did at the beginning of class. Chest is facing the right side of the mat. Take 1 breath in here. Now, option on the exhale is right hand to waist, left arm to sky. If you feel you can go a little further, right hand is going to go find your back heel as your left arm goes all the way up and over alongside your ear. Your front leg can stay bent. If you want to think of pushing left hip slightly forwards, right hip slightly back to find more length in it, then go ahead. It's a balance as well. It's tricky. Breathe into that left rib cage. Breathing out. Good, guys, lovely. Take a full inhale, last one. Now on the exhale, come back forwards. The arm in the sky is going to hook around your front leg for a twist. Hands come together as you press elbow into thigh, looking over right shoulder. Can you make your torso any longer with the breath in? Can you find that rotation with the breath out? Good. 1 more inhale. And a full exhale. Good. Maintaining your twist. Lift through your back knee to lift it away from the mat. Maybe look down towards your foot for balance, stepping 2 feet towards each other. They don't have to be together as we come to a twisted chair. We're looking over right shoulder as we keep that press into the leg. Sit bones are moving off behind us. Good. Now keep your chest facing this direction. We're going to try to take a bind around our left leg. So your left arm is going between the thighs. The right arm wraps over your lower back. Can you find your fingertips behind your left bum? Using a strap is a lovely way to find that. As your gaze comes down towards the floor, take the weight onto the right foot. Can you start to lift your chest as you bring that left leg with you as we move up towards a bird of paradise, squeezing that thigh in towards the side body. You can keep that leg bent and work on your balance here because that's really hard. If you wanted to make life harder and see if you could extend those left toes away from you, you're of course very welcome. Good, really challenging pose. See if we can take 2 more breaths of either balance or giving it a little go. Have a try. Final breath in. Now on the exhale, can we come out the way we went in? Place that foot down towards the mat. Option to keep the bind, or left hand comes between the feet. Right foot steps to the back of the mat. Drop the heel down as your right arm spins to the sky into an extended side angle. Use this left arm to drive your left knee that little bit wider, opening into the hip. Good, wonderful. Taking hand to block or hand to thigh to come a little higher up is a lovely option if that feels too much into your hip. Lovely. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, 2 hands to the mat, turn onto the ball of the back foot and drop the back knee to the floor. You could bring blocks with you, or you could keep a slightly bent leg. I want you to shift your hips back as you flex your toes towards the sky. Let your hands be somewhere for balance as we find this half split. Think of your chest being as far forwards as you can, rather than as close to your leg as you can. The sit bones are rolling out behind us. And we're pressing the back of the left heel into the mat to give that hamstring a bit of an active stretch here. Great. Inhale, lengthen through the body. Exhale. Take 1 more inhale. And a full exhale. Good. As you rock your body weight back forwards, place the hands. You could either choose to move a bit through a vinyasa here of your choice. If you'd rather not, you can pick the foot up and step to down dog. One way or another, find some movements that end in down dog. So if you wanted to take the foot step back, use the knee drop for your halfway lower. That is a lovely option. Good. Nice, guys. Lovely. Once you've found your down dog, take a couple of breaths. Notice if the breath is perhaps moving a little more shallow. Is it moving a little quicker? Can you slow it down? Can you broaden it? From there, left leg inhale, rises to the sky, 3-legged dog. Reach through toes, right heel stays heavy towards the floor. Take 1 more inhale, lift, 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 lift. And then as you exhale, scoop that leg underneath, place the foot between the hands, give it help to get there, drop the back knee down once you have. Inhale, torso rises, arms rise for your low lunge. Think of that tailbone tucking under ever so slightly, nice and strong through our right bum muscles. Good. Ribs are pulling up and away from hips. Press into the ball of the foot as if you're in your sprinter's blocks. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, right arm goes forwards, left arm goes back. That's hard. Find the active twist. Can you turn your chest to face that left side of the mat? Good. 1 more breath in. On the exhale, either left hand to heel, if that's a little too far to go, left hand to waist, and let your right arm reach up and over. If you're finding hand towards heel, think of right hip pushing slightly forwards, left hip pulling slightly back to square off through your hips. Nice, good. Hold what you have, wibbly wobbly balance. 1 more full breath in, let right rib cage get as long as you can. And then strong core as you exhale, pull all the way forwards, hook that elbow around the thigh, hands come to meet into a twisted lunge as you look over the left shoulder. Nice, trying to keep a little bit of a space between the thigh and the torso, prioritizing that length in the chest out towards the top of your mat, using the exhale to see if there's any more space to rotate. Lovely, full deep breath in. Maintaining your twist, tuck back toes if they're not already, lift through the back knee, keep your front knee lunging on top of front ankle. From there, back foot is going to step in towards a twisted chair. I recommend feet hip distance apart. If you have a preference, take a different one. Pressing that arm against leg, keep turning. Can you gaze up towards the sky? Lovely, bum is pushing back, weight is a little more into the heels than it is towards the toes. Take one more inhale. From there, as you release your arms, your right arm goes between the legs as we come to take a bind around our right thigh. Grab your strap to help your arms feel a little longer if you need. As the gaze comes down towards the floor, the weight is into the left foot. Think of drawing that right knee up towards the chest. Slow and steady is generally the key to maintain some balance here, although I have heard that fast and lucky kind of works as well. Take your time. Can you find a little bit of balance? Can you press that heel away from you? Yeah, really great job, guys. Give it a go. Maybe it's not today. We'll take one more full inhale. One more full exhale. Let's guide that foot back to the mat where it came from. Option to keep the bind or option to release it as you then step that left foot back, drop the heel down as you peel the left arm to the sky and into your extended side angle. So have the arm on the inside of the knee and use that arm to drive the knee a little wider, opening into that hip. Keep bending into front knee. Same options as the other side. Hand to block or forearm to thigh is a nice place to come a little higher up towards. Great. We'll take a full deep breath in here. Then as you exhale, let the hands come to the floor. Turn all toes to face the top of the mat as you drop the back knee down to the floor. Bring blocks with you if you wish. Shift your hips back. Try to maintain a relatively close distance between thigh and belly. So if you want to bring your hands a little further back, hands doesn't matter really where they are. Flex toes to the sky. The knee can stay bent. That's no problem. But give that right heel a bit of a press into the floor. Great. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more as you are. On the exhale, shift back forwards towards the top of the mat. Same again. If you'd like to move through a chaturanga up dog, down dog, or alternative, then go ahead. Otherwise, pick the foot up, place it to the back of the mat as you return into downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. Lovely. Fabulous. So from down dog, your choice of transition, we're going to come to the top of the mat. So you could walk your feet in, or perhaps you want to try taking a hop, a little jump, where you're going to think of sending your hips high on top of your wrists, landing as softly as you can at the top of the mat. A little walk in or a little bunny hop, any direction that you like. Once you get there, fingertips to shins, long spine, halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold, taking your hands back to the floor. Use an inhale to rise all the way up to stand. Take the arms above you, get nice and big. And as you exhale, refold, let those hands come down to the floor. Good. Now from here, having a block again is maybe quite a helpful thing. If you have a block, bring it in front of you and place your right hand onto it. The block is in front of your right toes. Left hand is going to come towards your waist. Now with your inhale, think of a halfway lift. Think of your chest pulling forwards and then sweep your right leg out behind you, keeping your hips facing the floor. Once you feel that you've got a little bit of balance here, with a deep breath in, can you peel your left arm towards the sky as you come towards a revolved half moon, strong through your right bum to keep that leg lifting, reaching out through that left hand. Good. Really hard pose. Without a block, you can keep that left leg bent. It'll make your leg have to work harder. Let's try for one more full breath in. Now, tricky transition, guys. See if you can keep your chest facing this left side. Can you guide your back foot down to the back of the mat and then rise up to a twisted high lunge so your chest is still facing the left side, right arm is forwards, left arm is back. We're going to just take one breath in, that's enough. And on the exhale, back hands towards the back leg, straighten out both legs as your right arm reaches up and over. That can feel quite wibbly, quite balancy as we're tall onto the ball of the back foot. Inhale, hold it. On the exhale, you're going to come to draw that elbow back to the outside of the thigh towards a twisted lunge like we did a moment ago. You could either take hands together, as we've done, or maybe see if your hand can come and place just next to your little toe. Placing it onto a block is a nice alternative, and then that left arm reaches to the sky, which is going to make that twist more intense. So your choice, if you want to stay with the hands into prayer, stay with hands in prayer. Yeah, lovely guys. Send that twist right down towards the bottom of your rib cage. Breathing in, breathing out. Lovely. Let that left hand come down, and all I want you to do is step your back foot in and come to a little crouch at the top of the mat. Now I'm just going to move back. So we're going to move this into a side crow, but we're not just going to flow in and flow out. We're going to see how it can go from here, and don't worry, we will revisit it. So if you need to rearrange yourself on your mat, do so. We're taking a side crow twisting towards our left, so I'm just going to turn to one side. We're going to see if we can try to find balance using just one part of the leg onto the back of the elbow. So if I just have a little guide of your way through it, you're going to twist just in the direction that you were, off towards your left side. You're going to take your right elbow towards as much the middle of your thigh as you can. So instead of going towards your knee, you're going to come a little bit more down towards your mid thigh. Keep your belly nice and firm and your thighs squeezing together. Imagine your legs are one leg. Hands go off towards that left side. Think of your hips lifting up to come away from the floor. Now look forwards. This is your shelf of your thighs towards elbow. Chest goes forwards. Can you keep your shoulder blades broad as you push the floor away from you? Can those feet find a little lift off of the floor? You want to think of yourself as a set of scales. Your chest needs to go forwards with bent arms in order for your feet to find lightness. Lovely thing about being at home, guys, is you could grab a cushion. Yes, Patricia, good. You could grab a cushion to come in front of your face. If you feel a little bit nervous, if you feel that you're not sure if your face is going to find the floor, put a cushion there for you. Yeah, nice job, guys. Yes, Emma. Oh, it's lovely to see your efforts. Don't worry if those feet are not lifting up. What you can try, if you have the block and you're still after a little bit, still trying to find flight, pop your feet onto the block. They're already higher up. You've got less far that you need to lift them. Once you've found that point as you go forwards, they have less distance for you to pull them up. There's an option for you. We will revisit this in a moment, so we're going to move on. I want you to see if you can land your feet back into that little squat position, so you're at the top of the mat, and then untuck your toes so that you're sat onto your shins at the top of the mat. A little bit of a variation of a jump back. If you want to take a side crow, and a side crow jump back is in your practice, go for it. That's a great option. Otherwise, sat onto our shins. Place your hands onto the mat either side of your legs. Your fingertips are about in line with your knees. You're going to think of jumping your feet to the back of the mat as you release your body all the way to the floor. It's easier than it sounds. It feels impossible from here. You're going to lift up, hop back. Can you release your way all the way down? Yeah. Once you've found your way down, I want you to inhale for a baby cobra. Squeeze elbows together, chest is forwards. And as you exhale, push those hips back into the sky. Find downward facing dog. Heels are heavy, hips are high, shoulders opening nice and wide. Nice, lovely. A few breaths of stillness. You can take them elsewhere. With your inhale, looking forwards to the top of the mat. On the exhale, same options as before. You could walk in if you want to take a little hop, grip the mat, look between the thumbs. Can you land as light as a feather? Maybe not today, but we can try. Inhale, long flat spine, chest pulls forwards. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. Good. With the inhale, rising up to stand, firm through the glutes, press through the heels. As you exhale, folding, hands to come back to the floor. Good. If that block was helpful on the first side, bringing that block in. Block is just in front of left foot, not too close. Your left hand is going to be onto it. I want you to lift that left leg out behind you to begin with, strong through left bum muscles. And then with an inhale, once you feel steady, can you reach that right arm to the sky into your revolved half moon? Good. So much going on in this pose, really challenging. Lovely. Press that hand into the block to give you that little bit more torque, that little bit more strength to find rotation. Now from here, the torso kind of stays as it is. See if you can release that back foot down to the back of the mat, left side. So you've got train track feet for balance. As you rise up, left hand is forwards, right arm is back, front knee stays bent on top of front ankle. One breath in. One breath out. Good. As you inhale, left arm to the sky, back hand towards your back leg. Can you straighten out your right leg, finding a little bit of balance here because we're still tall onto the ball of the back foot. Good. Left rib cage is getting long. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, rebend into the front knee. You're hooking the elbow around the outside of the thigh, either hands together for prayer or that left hand. Can you take it to the outside, the little toe? Maybe just take the knee a little bit more towards your armpit. Yes, good. Right arm peels to the sky into a twist. Yeah, great job. That's a long way to go. A full deep breath in. A full deep breath out. Good. As you look down towards your front foot, a hand can come down towards your hip. 2 feet just step in together as you come to a little crouch at the top of the mat. And we're going to take our side crow off towards the right side. So go ahead if you sort of know where you're going. If you wanted to, if you're having difficulty and it's one that you're struggling to find feet to come off the floor, what you might want to experiment with is finding 2 points of balance. There's pros and cons between the two, but if you go for 2 points of balance, your body has to twist further, so it's a little bit harder in that aspect, but it's a little bit easier perhaps to find balance. Our core strength doesn't have to work so hard. So the 2-point version, so we're twisting off to the right side, left elbow is to the outer of the left knee, right elbow is to the outer, sort of like your right bum, on the sort of chunky part of your outer bum. So now you've got 2 points that are your shelf. Same applies, the legs are squeezing together, the hands go like plank. Think of your hips coming up a little bit first, and then look forwards, chest is forwards, you're broadening through shoulder blades. Some of us may find that version a little more accessible to help our feet come away from the floor. Yes, Jasmine, good. Giving that a couple of goes. Good, cushions are of course very welcome. Yes, Hazel, fantastic. Now I want us just to reserve a little energy, so let your feet land back where they came from. Again, if you wanted to, if you know your crow jump back, a side crow, you can turn to one side. Otherwise, untuck those toes, sit yourself the shins. Usually second time of trying something is a little bit more fluid. Can you take those hands either side of the thighs, hop those feet back, maybe catch chaturanga if you want to advance it. Use the inhale to either turn that into a cobra, baby cobra, or up dog. And your exhale to find your hips into the sky, thighs pressing back, heels pushing low. Lovely. Now let your knees just drop to the mat. They can stay relatively narrow. Bum to heels just for a short child's pose here. Let your forehead rest to the floor. Let everything just release for a moment. How is that breath moving? Can you steady it just a little? Lovely. So as you roll yourself up to sit onto your shins, we're just going to perhaps workshop that pose a slight bit more. Depending on where you are, you've got another opportunity to work on crow. You could go for your 2 elbows, you could start working your blocks. We can have little practices at that, working on wrist strength. For those that are perhaps finding some balance and maybe want to see where else it can go, we're going to see if we can take it towards an EPK1, which essentially is a side crow with our legs are doing something a little bit different. So from wherever you are on the mat, I want you to tuck through your toes, come towards like a little squat, and then your right foot is just going to step slightly forward. So you're in this sort of staggered stance. And then we want to identify that, again, we've got this outer right thigh And this is going to go onto the shelf that we're going to form with the elbows. Now, again, you've got the option of 1 or 2 elbows. Experiment with both in your practice to see which one works well for you. For our EPK1, it's still very much a twist, but our legs are separated. So we're going to find that 1 or 2 points of balance on the outside of the thigh. As we come off towards the side, we've got to go further out to see if we can find an extension of the legs. So it's very similar to side crow, other than one leg kicks back and one leg kicks forwards. You could see if you could find your side crow and then extend your legs out into that shape if you want to try and make the transition even harder. Not always necessary at all. Good. I recommend any movements you take in an arm balance to be slow and controlled. Anything that's fast, we tend to not be able to control our momentum. Great, Steph. Lovely. So once you've had a little go with it on your right side, see if your other side is maybe your strong side. Be optimistic. Left foot staggers slightly forwards. Twist off towards the left and readjust if you need to for space, bearing in mind that you're going to be extending your legs. Think of going a long, long way forwards with your chest as you find that point of balance onto the back of the elbows. Find your shelf. And if your feet are feeling cemented to the floor, that's your body's way of saying that you need more weight out in front of you. You've got to counterbalance your front and back body in order to find those feet off the floor. Good job, guys. Yes, Pia, that looks lovely. Really hard balances, they're not something that come to us on our first attempt, maybe not second, maybe not third. But there's something that we can work towards, and you can find sort of movement of those legs between your side crow, your EPK1, you could draw them back in towards each other. As you come and land, whether that be splatting or that controlled exit, I want you to spin your legs around in front of you. Find a little bit of space onto the mat behind. Knees are bent, feet firmed into the floor, let your arms reach forwards. Draw your belly in, think of a rounded spine, and control your descent as you come all the way down to the mat. Nice and slow and steady until your shoulders and head find the floor. Wonderful. Once you're there, let your knees hug in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug, and maybe enjoy a soft little rock from left to right on your lower back as you find a little bit of movement. Wonderful. And then hands are going to hold the front of the knees, front of the shins. Open the knees wide towards armpits for happy baby. You could stay holding shins just like this, or soles of the feet go to face the sky. As you reach up, holding maybe ankles, maybe heels, maybe toes. Whatever it is that you choose to reach, I want you to make sure that your shoulders and head can rest against the floor. So hold less foot if that's not you. But then also think of the underside of your pelvis, your lower back, and try to encourage that to stay on the floor. So that's kind of like the opposite of a backwards roll, really root down. Again, you might enjoy finding a little bit of movement left to right, seeing what movement you can find without losing your balance. Lovely. Thinking of strong through the arms to draw legs to one side, to the other. Really nice, guys. Lovely. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. As you release your feet, let your knees hug back in towards one another to make yourself a small little ball. Left foot to return to the mat as the right ankle crosses over that thigh for a figure 4 shape, or dead pigeon as I like to call it. You could either use your right hand to guide your right knee away from you, or if you want to move a little further, curl the left thigh in towards you as you take a bind around the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Your right knee stays moving away from you, sort of energetically, whilst the arms do the effort of drawing the other leg in. Nice, lovely. Same as our happy baby, those lower hips, that lower back stays rooted against the floor. Nice, breathing in and all the way out. Take one more as you are. As you exhale, softly release, switching the sides. Let the foot return to the mat, crossing ankle over thigh, either using hand to press that left knee away from you or draw the leg in. Find that bind around back of leg Shoulders come down towards the mat. Nice long spine against the floor. One more full inhale. And one more full exhale. As you release that leg, let your feet come back to the floor, untangle them. Maybe just stepping your feet a little wider than your mat and letting your knees fall left and right, just finding some softness there. A little wiggle from one side to the next. Fabulous. You can then draw your knees back to your chest one final time. Both knees to fall towards the right. Or if you want a different supine twist option, if you want to extend your right leg, you're very welcome. Right hand could either choose to pin the legs down, or it could just release by your side, and your left arm to reach in the opposite direction. Let the left shoulder feel nice and heavy. Don't worry if it doesn't touch the floor. And just take a few breaths down towards the belly. Maybe just allowing that breath to move a little softer. Wonderful. You can then softly encourage those legs to come back via your center. Taking the same shape the other side, so either both knees or one knee off towards that left side as the right arm extends out. Find a heaviness in the limbs, a softness across the face, a softness into the belly. Wonderful. As you roll yourself back onto your back, take any last little movements that you feel that your body might want here. Maybe choosing to put on socks or jumpers or anything to help you be quite comfortable. Once you feel ready, let your feet extend towards the corners of the mat. Let your arms release alongside you. Closing your eyes, allowing your face to soften. And maybe just choosing to take one final full deep breath in. Fill the lungs, pause and hold it at the top. And then as you exhale, release it, let it go, and feel your body release against the floor. Allowing yourself these last few moments for the body to rest. Allowing your mind to stay softly focused on your breath as you notice it return to a more natural pace, a more natural rhythm. Feel the body grow heavier as tension releases, as you start to let go. And then allow yourself a nice full deep breath in. Drawing some energy back into the body. Moving the fingers, moving the toes. Maybe taking a nice big stretch above the head as you point the feet, getting long. And then softly guiding your knees in towards your chest as you give yourself a soft little squeeze, soft little hug. And then in your own time, in your own way, whichever way is most comfortable for you, find your way back up to seated. Letting the legs fall away from you, letting the shoulders roll lightly back. From there, your final breath in lifts the arms to the sky, reaching out through fingertips. And as you exhale, let your hands lower down through your center towards your belly as your chin lowers down towards your chest. Thank you all so very, very much for your beautiful energy, your beautiful movements. It was lovely to see you take on those challenges. For those that don't know where to find my classes, you can find me on YouTube, LivInLeggings. You can find my yoga tutorials, LivInLeggings on Instagram. I also teach live via Zoom, and you can find all of my information on my website, which is livinleggings.yoga. If anyone has any questions, do feel free to drop me an email. That's hello@livinleggings.yoga. I'll be happy to help. But wherever you are in the world, enjoy either your evening or the rest of your day. And it was lovely to see you. Thank you so much, guys.